really hope the president finally does to bomb and destroy the Iranian ones.
Why would you vote down the Kane resolution?
Because right now I wouldn't want to support anything that might curtail his ability to move and destroy the nuclear facility for Iran right now. I think it's entirely appropriate. I think I've been the first one here to actually been calling the destruction of that facility.
I think the lingering chance for diplomacy comes from restraint. The president has shown restraint in the past. The president's instincts are good, and I'm hoping the president will not get involved with the war. I think if the United States actively bombs Tehran, the possibility of negotiation goes out the window.
I support Israel's right to defend itself against this existential menace. A nuclear-armed Iran is a threat to the world, not just to Israel. It's a threat to the United States. I'm very concerned about the safety of United States personnel, military and civilian, in the area. People have been contacting me in droves about relatives who are visiting or who live there, and I am hopeful that diplomacy will work. I support the president's efforts to bring the parties to the table and to avoid escalating or widening the conflict. And so I think diplomacy ought to be a first resort, but we ought to be providing Israel with the means to defend itself against Iran's retaliation that's ongoing right now.
The president is listening carefully to what everybody says. Watch the vote on that. Watch what the president does and talk to him. He's doing a masterful job. We're getting very good reporting on an intelligence basis, not only from our people, but from other entities that we have relationships with that give us good information. We feel like we're dialed in with what's happening over there. Again, I come back to, this is not our war. The decisions are being made by the Israelis and by their commander-in-chief.
I trust the president on this. I think the president's been really clear. Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. I mean, Iran ought to have taken the off-ramp that the president's offered them, and I understand is still offering them. So, if they don't do that, I mean, they're not going to get a nuclear weapon. That's the bottom line here. It's just not going to happen. So they ought to embrace that reality, and they can either peacefully give up their nuclear program, or it looks to me like it's going to be bombed to smithereens.
We should have some say-so about it, especially if it involves possible World War III, in which it could. This is getting very touchy over there. But again, let's don't do hypotheticals. Let's don't guess about what's going to happen. Let's let them do their due diligence behind the scenes, and there will be some kind of recognition from the White House to Congress, I would imagine, before he does something.
Do you have any indication that this could lead to a wider war, to a World War III, if the U.S. were to engage in strikes?
Well, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to look what's going on over there. There'll be a lot of other people. When you got China and Russia and North Korea that are backing Iran, and we got the conflict that's going on between Russia and Ukraine. It's very touchy, and so again, you don't want to jump to any conclusions, but there's a lot of dislike around the world right now. That a lot of fires going on in different places. President Trump's got a lot of tough decisions to make, along with SecDef and the Joint Chiefs and everybody involved. So let's just let them do their work and don't panic.
The Democrats and many Republican hawks have criticized this president over and over for being too slow to embrace foreign conflicts. So I'm not worried about that with Donald Trump.
I've been saying, oh, hell yes, for I think it's almost 6 weeks. Yeah, I think I might have been the first one to call, bomb, and destroy their nuclear facilities.
Are you concerned then about the implications of a wider war?
No. I'm actually concerned about if Iran acquires a nuclear weapon. Now, like for me, this is about peace. It's about peace. Bombing and destroying their facilities, that's about peace. You can never have any real peace in the region, if you allow or Iran is able to maintain a nuclear program. And there must be some accountability for the proxies, what they've created. Hezbollah and Hamas, they've already been largely broken, and now that's another reason why we could have peace in the region.